Welcome to the debate. So picture a compass and a map, right? When you're sitting down with a young professional to map out their career.
The immediate instinct is to just hand them the map.
Exactly. You show them the external terrain, where the highest salaries are, what the current market demands. But without the internal magnetic pull of a working compass, that map is practically useless. Today, we're looking at the text, 7 Master Keys to Financial Increase, to answer a fundamental question. How do we best advise the next generation on wealth generation?
Right, and we're looking at 2 very different reads of the same text.
Yeah, I look at this text and see a framework that places the engine of success firmly in internal disposition. Your foundational attitude dictates your financial outcome.
You can have the most perfectly calibrated internal compass in the world, but if you walk off a cliff because you ignored the actual physical terrain of the market, you are still falling.
Sure, but
The text doesn't build a philosophy around feeling good, though. It defines success as strictly dictated by external problem solving. Income only happens when you meet a specific market need.
see, I disagree. The text states right up front, something you are doing is deciding what you are experiencing. That completely places the agency on internal traits.
Okay.
If I'm mentoring a young professional, I'm focusing heavily on Key 2, which mandates a cheerful attitude. We aren't just talking about, being happy in a superficial sense. Cultivating a genuinely merry heart acts as a psychological armor against the daily grind. Financial increase isn't just a sudden transaction. It requires immense stamina.
Right, but
If your internal state is miserable, you will inevitably burn out long before you reach the top of your field.
you're building this elaborate psychological fortress, but you're skipping right over the very first bolded thesis of the entire text.
I wouldn't say I'm skipping it.
You kind of are. Money is a reward for solving a problem. It does not say money is a reward for being cheerful. The economic mechanism here is entirely utilitarian.
But the cheerful part,
The market pays you because you removed a pain point for someone else. Full stop. That's why Key 4 adaptation is the real linchpin here. It's about being easy and flexible to work around. The market simply doesn't care about your internal psychological armor. It cares whether you mold yourself to fit its immediate needs.
I actually struggle to see how you separate the two. How exactly do you expect a young professional to successfully execute that external adaptation over a 40-year career without a rock-solid internal foundation?
Because it's an immediate response. It's not...
Let's look at market friction, right? Difficult clients, sudden industry crashes, shifting job requirements. If you attempt to constantly adapt your external behavior while your internal spirit is resentful, you aren't adapting, you're just masking.
Yeah, but
And masking shatters under pressure. The text even quotes Proverbs here. By sorrow of the heart, the spirit is broken. You can't fake external flexibility when your internal structural integrity is crumbling.
the flexibility the text praises isn't about deep internal soul-searching. It's an immediate behavioral response to external necessity.
Is it, though?
Yes. When the text uses the example of Abraham literally running to fetch a calf for sudden visitors, it's illustrating rapid response to an external gap. He saw a need and instantly molded his actions to fill it.
Right.
Think of it less like a building with structural integrity and more like water flowing into a new container. The shape of the container, the market, dictates everything. If you don't take the shape of the problem that needs solving, your internal resilience doesn't matter because you've rendered yourself economically irrelevant.
Yet water doesn't flow if it freezes, right? The internal state still dictates the ability to move.
Oh, wow, that's...
But look, I will concede that framing career growth fundamentally as solving a problem for someone else is the ultimate advice for any mentor. We absolutely agree the text places immense value on that utility. You can't just sit in a room radiating joy and expect a check to arrive in the mail.
Exactly. That utility is the core. Where we diverge is where that utility comes from. I look at this framework and see that strict alignment with external realities and client demands is the solitary trigger for financial reward. The environment dictates the success.
And I look at the exact same framework and see that without the deliberate cultivation of a resilient, cheerful attitude, the problem solver simply collapses under the weight of those external demands.
Well, there's certainly more to unpack there.
There is. And it leaves us with a critical question for anyone charting out a long-term career. When you face the brutal friction of the marketplace, do you survive by constantly contorting to fit the external map, or by relying on the true north of your internal compass?